Good morning, Springfield. Hey, I wanted to reach out. Uh, the I've been following kind of our voter information thing, and the kind of the thought process behind that was that we really struggled over the last chunk of time to have like robust, rich dialogue about about your schools and about what's going well and what's not, and we have board meetings, but they're you know not many people come unless there's something to that has people energized, and we put out reports and things and whatnot. But we really struggle to have these kind of like rich conversations about what do we value about schools and what's appropriate in terms of the amount of funding we should spend or the types of programs we should value or all those things. And we just had one of those another example of us struggling to have that dialogue the other night. Now I know it's COVID, and so we shouldn't expect that we're going to have that many people participate, and we didn't. We had the other night at our budget information meeting, we had one person come, and we had two or three people call in, but then not they're not asking any questions. So we had a very short budget information session, and I feel like it's during a period of time where really we should be having some pretty good dialogue about this stuff. So I've been thinking about. So that's part of the reason why why I said, you know what, let's give this social media thing a shot, and let me respond to things that people are saying to me and let's share information, and let's give you a better view into what's going on, and be as honest as I can be about what's happening, and give people information, and at least we're having an informed conversation. And maybe I overestimated the what you can do with social media a little bit, because I did get some questions off the bat. First couple waves of people, I had some people asking some questions, and but then it shifted to not questions and kind of expressions of just of anger and I was trying to figure out kind of logically. I'm always trying to think about like how do I communicate with folks about what's going on and what their concerns are, and how can we collectively come to a better understanding about schools and where schools fit in the community of Springfield, and what we want for kids and all those things. But it's proving difficult to have that conversation. It was difficult at our budget meeting, and it's difficult on social media because then it just turns into a lot of angst. And so I was thinking a lot about that, and actually having difficulty sleeping last night. We had first round of graduations yesterday, and we'll do the second round of our graduations today. And and I was struggling to sleep, thinking about all the kind of angst and anger, and from one perspective of just trying to be like, wow, I want to have a dialogue with folks. I want the schools to be what people want the schools to be. I want people to feel good about their schools, but I'm not sure how to break through some of this stuff, and it took me a while, tossing and turning, to realize that a lot of what's going on goes back to a conversation I had years ago when I was first superintendent. I was at the recycling center to talk to people about the budget. I just had a sign, and people would come up and talk to me. And at that, I had a great, insightful conversation where a gentleman came up to me and was like, didn't exactly know who I was. It was like, I'm never voting for one of those school budgets ever. And then we had a long conversation about how he felt his grandson had been mistreated by the district, and talked to me a bit about what that was and stuff. And then I asked, well, what, he was concerned about a teacher, and I said, well, who's the staff member, or what's the school, and I'm sure we can figure something out. And he let me, oh well, Then they let me know, well, my grandson graduated 15 years ago. And we were talking about elementary school. This is an experience from about 20 years ago. And there was still a lot of pain around the way in which he felt his family members treated in the district. And that totally shaped how he felt he would never vote for a school budget as a result of that. And I look at stuff in our postings, and it's like, whoa, there's a lot of anger. And at first, it's easy to just kind of coil back and say, wow, what, and get defensive about it. But it's also like, I know that that's usually due to a lot of pain about feelings about the district, how the district has treated people who were close to you. And that could be during my period of time while we've been here, or it could be, from years ago. And I just wanted to say I'm sorry for that pain. For those of you who have a lot of pain connected with the district, I'm sorry that that's the case. I think that whether it's the school board or me or principals or teachers or, students, I think people all come to the table trying to do the best they can. They're trying to be good people. They're trying to do the job as well as they possibly can. And I know like school board takes a lot of heat, and these are just people who are interested in helping the community and helping kids. And they put in a ton of time on their own time to come out. And really in the end, what they do is they take a ton of heat while they're just trying to do right by the community and volunteering their time to do it. So I hope at some point we can get to a point where the dialogue we have, wherever the venue is, whether it's in small people's living rooms or it's probably not going to be on social media ultimately, I guess. But however we do it, that we can have good faith conversations where the assumption is that both parties come to the table doing the best they can, trying to do the right thing. And it's clear that there's a pocket of people, and I don't know how big that pocket is, who are convinced that the people who are in the school district, they don't come to the table to do that. They're dishonest. They're whatever. And when I say that includes me. And so you can't tell somebody you're honest and that takes care of their problem. You can't tell somebody the district is honest and that takes care of their problem. It has to go through experience. And if they have negative experiences, then it's really hard to overcome. But I did want to kind of start the day by apologizing to those of you who have pain connected with the district. We're working hard. A lot of people are working hard. We've worked really hard through this COVID stuff. We've been working hard for a while to try to get the schools where we all want them to be. So, all right, that's it. I will definitely try to answer a lot of these questions today, the ones that are questions. And I hope some of you have an opportunity to see the second round of graduations today. We have some really wonderful graduates, some good families, and people who are toughing it out in a tough time where we weren't able to offer a traditional graduation ceremony. So anyways, have a good Saturday. And I hope we all can have some constructive, good dialogue that helps drive forward the schools. Yeah. All right. Take care.